everyone. We're back at it again with our Women in Art series. Today we have Dorothea Lange, who was a photographer from 1895 to 1965. One of the most important documentary photographers of all time. Dorothea Lange was born 1895 in New Jersey. In 1919, she opened a portrait studio in San Francisco. During her career, Dorothy would capture many important moments in American history with her camera. During the Great Depression, millions of people across the United States lost their job. Dorothea took photographs of bread lines and worker demonstrations happening in the city. Her work was shown in the public exhibition, including the photograph White Angel Breadline in 1933. These photographs led to Dorothea being hired for the Resettlement Administration in 1935, later called the Farm Security Administration, FSA. For the FSA, she would travel the country and photograph the migrant workers moving west to escape the Dust Bowl. The Dust Bowl was an agricultural crisis that in the 1930s that exacerbated the Great Depression. A long drought combined with the bad farming practices of the Midwest, caused the soil to become unstable. To escape starvation and poverty, many families packed up all of their belongings and began driving to California. Dorothea's photographs were some of the very first to chronicle the effects of the Dust Bowl. She showed the rest of America the severity and desperation of the situation without sacrificing the dignity or humanity of her subjects. During the World War II, the Japanese military attacked Pearl Harbor, and the U.S. government forced American citizens of Japanese ancestry into internment camps. In 1942, Dorothea began documenting life in these camps, showing families and children being put into detention centers. These images were quickly censored by the U.S. Army. But today, these photos are publicly available and used to accurately portray the shameful moment in U.S. history. In 1954, Dorothea became very ill from recurring polio. Despite pain and exhaustion, she began to work and travel all over the world, nearly to the end of her life. She began preparing a retrospective of her life's work for a solo show at the Museum of Modern Art, MoMA. In 1965, Dorothea passed away at the age of 70. Her retrospective opened in the next year. Dorothea Lange presented empathy and truth in each of her photographs, and she helped turn documentary photography into a new art form. Is in the National Women's Hall of Fame. Her work changed documentary and journalistic photography forever. This is probably her most well-known work. Captured important movements in the American history in her photos. This is her quote: "Seeing is more than a psychological phenomenon. We see not only with our eyes, but with all that we are and all that our culture is. The artist is a professional seer." She traveled to Asia, the Middle East, and South America to take photos. Her photos of the Dust Bowl were used as inspiration for the movie adaptation of Grapes of Wrath. She worked on several essays for Life magazine, was the sixth photographer and first female photographer to have a solo show at MoMA. The photograph Migrant Mother, 1936, has become the iconic image of the Dust Bowl. The book Impounded Dorothea Lange and the censored images of Japanese American internment was published in 2008. I hope you all learned something. Bye, friends.